Welcome everyone tonight for this Monday evening. And we're going to be continuing on with the theme of collaboration. Our topic tonight is called Managing Perceptions. Our perceptions aren't just how we see things, but part of a bigger picture as to how we organize, identify, and interpret sensory information. Our senses have the ability to convert real-world information into electrical information that can be processed by the brain. The way we interpret this information through our perceptions is what leads us to the outcome of our experiences of the world. So perception and sensation work together to allow us to experience the world through our sensory receptors. And these are our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So it encompasses all of the five senses. And then combine what we are learning from our environment with what we already know about it, with what is going on inside of us in order to make judgments and make choices. For example, let's pretend I'm going to the store to pick out some new towels. I use my vision to choose the style and color of the towels that I want, but I also feel them and touch them to make sure that they are the thickness and the plushness that I'm looking for. So I'm using all of my senses in making this decision. It's a simple process, but it demonstrates how I'm using my sensory awareness to make decisions based upon my preferred perception. So I'm using my sensory awareness to bring into fruition what choices I want to make based on my perceptions, based on the kind of towels that I want for my home. So we talk about using sensory awareness during our breathing meditation practice as a means of checking in with the body and tuning into the cues that the body sends out when the body is under stress. So that's why we're here tonight. Our bodies have been under stress all day, and that goes along with our minds. So we're here because when we're caregivers, we are usually under a chronic state of stress. And when we're under that stress, our body releases that stress hormone that kickstarts the sympathetic nervous system. That primes the body to send out all kinds of sensory input. And one of the things that happens when we're under chronic stress is the body withdraws blood flow from the brain's frontal lobe. And the frontal lobe is what gives us our critical thinking, our logical thinking, that part of the brain. And it actually automatically rechannels it or redirects that blood flow to the survival brain, which is that fight or flight syndrome that we find ourselves in. And if your body needs to fight off danger, like if you are in survival mode, that keeps us alive, right? And so if we're running away from a grizzly bear, that's a good place to be. But in our normal daily life, we're not running away from a grizzly bear. We're trying to manage a lot of different situations. But if the stress remains and sits there chronically in the body, it deprives us of the ability to think and act rationally. We might feel constantly confused. We might feel overwhelmed, or we might get like a fuzzy brain syndrome. And so we're not able to solve simple problems or manage everyday challenges. And a good example of that is how we all might have felt during the most critical part of the pandemic in 2020. I know that I did. There was so much going on, so much information hitting us from what we were watching, what we were reading, what we were trying to learn about this virus, that it was just overwhelming. You know, how do we get our groceries? When the groceries arrive, we have to sanitize them. We have to sanitize our hands 24 hours a day. And all of this stuff coming at us just felt really, really overwhelming. And so we were actually in a fight or flight mode. That stress created a fight or flight mode for almost everybody. And it was hard to manage simple things, and for me, even to think logically about things because I was just completely scattered and overwhelmed. So we know that when we bring calm to our bodies and our minds, we bring that stress level down, and then we take ourselves out of that fight or flight mode and we go into the rest and digest mode. So important. We are able to broaden our perceptions and at the same time let go of perceptions that aren't serving us. So these are things that we are consistently learning in our breathing meditation. And so that just gives you a couple little nuggets to think about before we go ahead to support group. But anyway, I invite you now to forget about all those stresses that you might have had today as we come into our breathing meditation portion tonight. And so let's find a comfortable sitting position, maybe shifting our weight from side to side so that we're sitting evenly in the chair. Taking the shoulders up to the ears and then letting them softly settle back down. Finding that grounding of your feet on the floor beneath you. Finding your sitting bones on the chair. And then being aware of that space that's all around you. And so my question to you tonight is, where can you find 2 minutes in your day to breathe effectively, to reduce your stress level? 2 minutes, that's all. That doesn't sound like very much, but when you're busy, especially when you're caregiving, 2 minutes can sound overwhelming, okay? So right now I invite you to close the eyes and begin to connect with your breath, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Just tuning into the breath. Good. And we're going to do a breath tonight called breathing with the clock. So what we do is take an in breath for 6 counts and an out breath for 6 counts. And when you add this up, this equals about 5 full breaths, and that's breathing in and breathing out. That counts as 1 full breath. 5 full breaths a minute. If we do 10 of those breaths, we're actually breathing mindfully and efficiently for 2 minutes. And that 2-minute, 10 full breath practice actually can really help drop down your stress level. So we're going to try that this evening. So we'll try this together, first of all. Let me get my timer here. Okay. So let's just try breathing in and out for 6 counts. So breathing into the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Let's do that again, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the in-breath, and then on the out-breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I invite you to try this on your own, and I'm going to time you for 2 minutes. And so don't, you can count the breath coming in and out, but you don't have to count how many rounds, because we know that in 2 minutes you're probably going to have close to 10 rounds of breath. So again, with the eyes closed, with your whole body aligned on your chair, aligned yet relaxed, I invite you to start the in-breath of 6, and then continue on with the out-breath of 6, and then in-breath of 6 and out-breath of 6. And I invite you to start now. You're about halfway through. Keep going, breathing in mindfully for 6 and releasing the breath mindfully for 6. And stop. That was 2 minutes. So again, I ask you, where can you find 2 minutes in your day to take 10 mindful breaths? That is all it takes to drop down into that parasympathetic nervous system. Maybe you can start small by taking 2 minutes every morning. And if once that starts to feel doable to you, then you can add another 2 minutes in the middle of the day, and then maybe add 2 minutes in the evening. But 2 minutes for 10 breaths. So maybe as you go into this week, you can make that a goal. Anyway, it wouldn't hurt to try, right? So we're going to just close the eyes once again and then start to invite the breath, breathing in and breathing out. And I invite you to try any breath practice that would support you in this present moment. Maybe the belly breathing, where you're bringing the breath from the nose to the chest to the ribs, down into the belly, and then cycling back out again. Maybe just a baby's breath, where you're breathing in gently through the nose, very softly and without changing anything, just your own natural rhythm of your breath. Whatever breath practice would support you, I invite you to try that now. And as you do, I will read our affirmations for tonight's practice. I am willing to look at my perceptions. I access my calm and see the bigger picture. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am at peace. I am calm. I am relaxed. I am at peace. Good. And just continue to allow this breath to support you, to bring you a sense of ease, mindful, supportive breathing. This is something you can bring into your life every day. Continue to take a few more rounds at your own pace. Very good. And then when you feel ready, gently open the eyes and come back to the present moment. So in our mindful movement tonight, we're going to do some exercises that link the brain and the body. And so right now, sitting in your space there in your sanctuary that you've created for yourself, I invite you to find one thing to gaze upon. It could be maybe a picture on the wall, it could be an object on a table or a shelf or a desk. It could be anything in your space that you want to choose as your gazing object. So I invite you now to focus your attention on that object. And I'll time you for about 30 seconds. So go ahead and find your object now. And just notice as you're gazing what's happening in your body as you're focusing your attention on one object, one thing. Start to become aware of any sensations in the body. And stop. You can stop, okay? Okay, good. So just think about that. How did your body feel? Did you notice any type of opening, any type of awareness, anything going on with the breath, maybe with sensations in your bones, in your joints, and your muscles? Just, witness that for a moment. Okay, and now we're going to do a little bit of a scalp massage. So I invite you to get your fingers ready. And let's start at the back of the head using your middle finger and index finger of both hands. And just find the little notch that's at the base of the skull and start to make small circles there at the base of the skull. And as you do this, you're welcome to maybe move your head around a little bit. Just gently massaging with the pads of your fingers. Good. And then taking all of the fingers, we're going to move through the hair. So starting at the base of the skull and moving through the hair, lifting the hair up and forward. Okay? So from the base of the skull and then forward. Good. And I don't know about you, but it almost feels like electric to me to do this, to just bring the hair through your hands. It's super calming for me. And then just with all the pads of your fingers, just start to gently make small circles all over the head. Almost as if you were shampooing the hair, like when you're taking a shower. Just gently massaging the scalp. Good. And then bringing your fingers, again, the middle finger and the index finger to the hairline. So right at the forehead where the hair and the forehead meet. And just start some gentle circles, starting at the top and then moving down the sides of the head, but along the hairline. Good. And then moving to the temples. And then moving down towards the jaw. And there's a little space right at the front of the ear where the upper jaw and the lower jaw connect, called the temporal mandibular joint. So I want you to take those fingers now and just massage that joint right there. And when you do, see what happens. This motion elicits the yawn response. And this yawning actually relaxes the body and the brain. So this is an awesome, easy thing to do. It's called an energy yawn. It relaxes you, but it also energizes you at the same time. You might even want to sigh it out at this time, okay? And then down the jaw, the lower jaw, to the neck. And just take some little circles at the neck. And then coming back to find that little notch at the base of the skull where we started. Good. So just taking a few minutes a day to massage the scalp can actually reduce depression and anxiety and boost your mood. And you may even want to try it sometime with a little bit of essential oils on your fingers. And that adds some aromatherapy and also is really good and really nice for the scalp. So that's something you could do. Now I'd like you to take both hands and rub them together to create a little friction here. Good, and then gently cup those hands over the eyes. Closing the eyes, coming to stillness here. And just take a moment to feel what that heat over the eyes generates within you. To me, it gives me a sense of going inward. It's really peaceful. Excellent. And then bringing hands to your lap, bringing the palms facing down. I invite you to keep the head still, and you're going to be moving your eyes as if you were looking at a clock face. So you're going to start with the eyes going up and then around the clock face. So you're going to start with the eyes at 12 o'clock and then 1 o'clock. Remember, you're not moving your head, only the eyes. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So those are just some eye exercises. Good, and we're going to do one more here. Taking the index finger and the thumb, finding your collarbones, and then dropping down about 1/2 inch to find a little notch below each collarbone. And then very gently start to move those fingers in a clockwise fashion. This is also a very relaxing gesture that you can do for yourself anytime that you feel stressed. Sometimes I do it at night when I can't fall asleep. Okay. While you're doing this, I invite you to keep your head still, but move the eyes from side to side, so left to right as you're doing this gesture. It's hard not to move the head. Good, and now I invite you to take that right hand. We're going to bring the left hand to the belly, so rest the left hand on the belly. And then take the right hand and tap the upper lip and tap the lower lip. So alternate between upper and lower. And this time with your head stationary, look up and down. Move the eyes up and down as you tap the upper and lower lip. Good, and then release the hands to the lap once again. Taking the hands together, rubbing them together to create some heat, and then one more time placing them over the eyes. Good. Awesome. Beautiful, everyone. Just a few little exercises to kind of bring you into relaxation anytime during your day. Even when you're sitting in the car, you could do the little collarbone massage. So just a few little tips. Now, I invite you to take a couple moments and find your comforts for this evening's practice, whether that is a pillow or a blanket or two, anything to make you more comfortable as you rest, maybe finding your music, maybe locating your essential oils or any other comforts that you want to bring into your space. Good. And if you're going to be lying on the floor tonight, I invite you to stretch out nice and long, bringing your arms down to your sides, and then taking a moment to snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you and really feeling that grounding of the earth below you. Good. And if you're seated in a chair, just finding your connection with your sitting bones on the chair, feet on the floor. Maybe lowering your lights or turning them off completely to make you more comfortable as you rest. And taking a moment to reconnect with your breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, finding stillness and ease and relaxation. And we're going to go through our body scan. I will bring your attention to a particular part of the body, and then you will take your awareness there and then quickly move to the next body part as I bring your attention to it. And so starting at the head, I invite you to relax all the muscles in the face, the forehead, the cheeks, the temples, and the jaw. Letting go of all tension in the face, letting go, letting go, letting go. Good. Just take a moment to breathe into that sense of ease. And then we'll move to the shoulders, relaxing both shoulders here. Relaxing any tension in the upper arms. Relaxing tension in the elbows, the forearms and the wrists, the back of the hands and the palms of the hands, and all the fingers of the hands, the thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, and pinky fingers, letting all of the tension go, letting go, letting go, letting go, so that from the fingers of both hands all the way up to both shoulders, both arms are completely relaxed. Breathe into that sense of ease and relaxation. Very good. Now I invite you to bring your awareness to both hips, both thighs, both knees and shins and ankles and feet, and the tops of the feet and the soles of the feet, and all the toes of both feet. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, baby toes, so that from the toes of both feet all the way up to the hips, both legs are completely relaxed. Breathe into that sense of relaxation and ease. And then bring your awareness to the back body and all parts of the body that connect with the earth. The low back, middle back, upper back and shoulder blades, the back of the head, the back of the legs. Breathe in that sense of relaxation and ease. Your back body is completely and totally relaxed. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Good, and now bringing your awareness to the front body and all parts of the body that shine towards the sun. The front of the feet, the ankles, the shins, the knees, the thighs, the hips and the pelvic floor, the low belly, the upper belly, the ribs, the chest, and your heart. Your heart, your generous, caregiving heart. Breathe some love and appreciation into your heart that gives to so many people each and every day. And find that sensation of relaxation and ease, letting go, letting go, letting go. Your whole front body is relaxed. Now I'm going to give you an image of something, and I invite you to visualize it as soon as I say it. And don't think too much about it. Just receive the first image that comes into your mind and then move on to the next one. This is a little visualization practice that brings awareness to your sensory body. So remember, just when I say it, bring your awareness there and move on to the next one when I say that. Vibrant sunset. Beautiful garden. Blue, cloudless sky. Heat of the sun on your face. A warm embrace. Crackling fire. The face of a loved one. Tranquil lake. Star-filled sky. Bouquet of wild flowers. Red rose. Full moon. Your reflection in a mirror. Burning candle. Laughing with friends. Taking a deep breath. Your favorite song. In this present moment, your whole body is relaxed. I invite you to rest now. Rest well in the knowing that you are in a place of calm and peace and ease. Rest well. Very slowly and gently begin to bring your awareness back, inviting in a little movement, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe rocking your head from side to side, or taking a moment to take a full body stretch. Any type of movement that would very slowly bring you back to the present moment. And as you are reconnecting right now, I invite you to just stay where you are, eventually rolling to one side and just staying there for a few mindful breaths. And I'm going to read a few closing quotes for tonight's practice. This one is from William Butler Yeats. He says, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." And here is another by David Simon. "Reality is ultimately a selective act of perception and interpretation. A shift in our perception and interpretation enables us to break old habits and awaken new possibilities for balance, healing, and transformation." And whenever you feel ready, I invite you to press yourself back up into a seated position for our closing. Good. I hope everyone had a little chance to bring their stress level down a bit tonight and relax a little bit and find some ease. I invite you to float your arms up overhead, pressing the palms together, and then bringing them to your heart center. As always, the light in me honors and recognizes the light in each and every one of you, and we share that acknowledgement when we say together, Namaste. Namaste, everybody.